What is up? Today I am making a video about backtesting and how to efficiently backtest. So first of all, looking back at New York Open, was it the 16th? Oh shit. All right. Damn, we just had some, looks like we just kind of dumped down around New York Open. I guess pre-market we dumped down overnight, and then yeah, I mean, we literally just sold off pre-market, and people were saying the longs were W. I mean, it's all right. No crazy volatility or anything like that, which is, I mean, fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And then after buying back up, it looks like we just tapped into a 5-minute for rally gap and just sold off again, sweeping out previous lows. So let's zoom in on the 1 minute and see what the fuck. Oh, that's not where I wanted to do that. What the hell? Leave. All right, let's zoom back in on the 1 minute and see kind of just what entry model was actually present. So right around New York Open, let's see, where is it? Right here. So New York Open's right here. Shit, bro, it doesn't really look like anything good. Nothing happened right after New York Open. See, we sold off, came down. Did we sweep like any sort of liquidity? Not really. I guess this really tiny sweep like right here could have been a change in state. Actually no. I mean, I think most people entered off this inversion, right? They entered off that, maybe entered off this really small change in state right here, but then like there was no retest. So, and then we had, what the fuck? Yeah, okay. This inverse gap right here, still no retap, so that's kind of shitty. Let's look at the 1 hour, see if like, what the hell, bro? Not looking to clean up my charts. These are like dog shit. I don't know if there's like an SMT at the lows or anything. Not really. Oh shit, there was. So there was an SMT at the lows here. And that's like 2 hours after open. I mean, so there's a good SMT right there. And I don't think there was really anything else initially at New York Open, especially for the longs. I don't really know what your confluences really would have been. This gap is, let's see, what, the 4 hour gap? We came back down retapping it, and then I'm guessing that was people's signal to buy back up. I don't know, because I'm not really seeing any great entries here, especially for the longs, besides like the inverse, but that's if you enter off of candle closure and not retracement. I really only enter off of retracements and retaps, so these aren't good setups to me. Let's go back on the 5 minute, draw out like an OTE or something, hit equilibrium and sold off, tap the 5 minute, tap the 15 minute. Shorts looked peak right here. I think the shorts were honestly a lot better than any longs. I don't know, I guess you could place a short. Let's see, like if you were watching the 5 minute and the 15 minute, could have saw that we retapped. Let's see, the 5 or the 15 minute. What the fuck? Holy balls, dude. Honestly, yeah, I mean, if you just timed that, would have been good, but where were we in terms of sessions? Swept London low, swept Asia lows. Well, London swept Asia highs, reversed back down, swept out London lows and Asia lows. So there wouldn't really have been a lot of reason for entering longs besides just maybe rebalancing this range here off of the 4-hour tap. But other than that, there wasn't really anything on the lower time frame. And shorts honestly looked more promising than anything else. So could have caught a nice, 300 ticks, 200. I don't know what everyone was hyping this morning's price action about, unless I'm just seeing something, or I'm not seeing something that other people are seeing. I don't know. To me, this doesn't really look like a super great setup. But shit. Damn, bro, it was just all hype. What the fuck? I was expecting to see like some fucking A+, SMT, fair value gap, an inverse, maybe like an OTE. But nah, bro, this is low-key just like some mid. I'm just gonna look for a better entry real quick and we'll backtest that. And I'll kind of go through like what the process is for that. So right here, you can see price came down, probably created an SMT somewhere, I don't know. But we came down, came back up, created this huge range from the swing high to the swing low. So that's where we draw out our OTE. And we see that price was buying back up, retracing into this huge fair value gap. What the fuck? I'll draw that real quick. This huge fair value gap. And then we tapped OTE. But as you know, price can sometimes fill out higher than, it can fill out higher, like up here, but still technically on the higher time frame be respecting OTE. And so when you're entering off a higher time frame OTE, which whether it's a 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, whatever, it's crucial that you as an intraday trader time your entries precisely, and that's usually on the 5 minute or the 1 minute. And so since sometimes price will wick up past the OTE but still close within it and then eventually move in the direction you're expecting, what I like to do, and this is kind of the model that I really follow a lot, is you go from here. Actually, let me go and replay. This will just be easier. And this is just a random spot in the market. I don't even know if there's actually a setup within this. I'm just analyzing this how I would if I was looking back in the past markets, and just, I don't know, like I literally have no idea. I could be zooming in on this right now and there's literally no good setup right here besides just the OTE and the fair value gap. So I'm just going in on this. So let's see. If we zoom in on the 1 minute and we go to where price started reversing off of the golden range, we see here that we manipulated up pretty hard. And so on the 1 minute, we already have right here a really solid change in state. And this manipulation leg right here, this bullish manipulation leg is also, I was gonna say it's the like, I guess the liquidity, or not the liquidity, it's the manipulation that taps into the direct 0.7 zone, but it didn't do that. So either way, we have a huge change state right here. So this is around like off hours. This isn't even New York Open or anything, or London or Asia really. But price is fractal, and setups and ICT concepts are fractal. And so this same setup can be applied to any time of the day. It doesn't just have to be New York Open. And so we look at this, we have the change in state. If we go on the 5 minute, where are we? Change in state on the 5 minute as well, right? We have this manipulation leg of bullish candles. Mark out the change in state, we tap into it and we're retesting it. It looks a little ugly on higher time frames, not gonna lie, but on the 1 minute, shit looks clean as fuck. So let's see. And also, if you're ever questioning when to enter off a CISD, you will either enter off right when it retaps it, or at the equilibrium of the change in state. And so the way I like to view it is I kind of treat it like a fair value gap. You can also draw it out just literally as a fair value gap if you want, with a box. And here, I don't really use this anymore, but if you want to. This is the change in state range. We see we close past, come back down, and eventually retap. I guess we retap right here. Could have entered that for like a small short. Oh, small, that's not small. That's like 200 ticks. Anyways, if you're planning to catch the bigger move here, we retap equilibrium, which is this line right here. So we hit that, you could have entered there. And at that point, you know, price has already rejected off of it once, and we know that this change state is valid, as well as we have the confluence of the higher time frame aligning with what we want to see. It's kind of a sketchy CISD, but it aligns with the higher time frame bias, which is bearish, and we're tapping this golden range on the 4 hour of this huge range, and we're also tapping equilibrium of this 4 hour gap. So sure, it's a sketchy CISD on the 1 minute, but it aligns with higher time frame context bias. So sure, if it looks nicer on the 5 minute or the 15 minute, that's great too. But if you can time it right on the 1 minute, it's no difference, right? Even if you timed it and entered right here off the first initial retap, bro, you would have caught like 1K, whatever, you know, a good solid trade. Or if you wanted to enter and wait till we retest the equilibrium of the CISD and we respected it, let's say, you know, we're watching this on the 5 minute here, and you wanted to wait till we tap the equilibrium, could have entered around like right here, or even like down here later. Maybe waited for this, you know, 5 minutes to get inverse, this really small 5 minute. Let me draw that out. We retapped it, and you could have entered off that. Really barely would have had to risk anything. Could have risked like, I don't know, maybe $300, $400. And you would have been safe, you would have been fine. And you could have caught generational wealth, which is usually not what I target because I'm not a greedy fuck. But regardless though, it would have been a really solid trade. And that's honestly the setup that I use most of the time, like 90% of the time, right? Sometimes there's an SMT, sometimes there's not. Sometimes there's an OT, sometimes there's not. It just really depends where market is right now and how price action is moving. But yeah, this is a really good setup. I mean, high time frame bias. If you wanted to draw out maybe the swing high to this fuck ass swing low, God, this is so weird. You could have timed entry right here as well on this OTE, right? Because saw it come back up, saw we created a range on the 5 minute time frame, and timed it hitting the OTE, boom. Also timed it with the 5 minute inverse, boom. Entry right there, and market moved. And shit. Market moved way lower after this point and continued in that direction. And I mean, this is way more than you would have targeted on a regular trade, right? Like 600 ticks, 700 ticks. Who the fuck is targeting that? Unless you're like a fucking swing trader or something. But yeah, really good entry model right there. There's also PO3 right here. So that's even more, confluence. The fact that we have some accumulation right here on the lower time frame, we manipulate up and then we distribute lower. So all these things lining up, this is like almost picture perfect. There might have been like an SMT at the highs. If not, then whatever. But yeah, so if I were to be back testing the setup, I would, you know, take a screenshot. What the hell? I would be taking a screenshot like so of the higher time frame and the lower time frame. I guess just on both, like honestly, yeah, like take a screenshot of it on both higher time frame and the lower time frame entry, and just stow it away, right? This is how you backtest. You take screenshots of your progress, or this is how you backtest. You just take screenshots and of you backtesting. I don't know. But yeah, so super W setup. All these confluences lined up on the higher time frame and lower time frame. good timing on entries, plenty of opportunities for good entries here, good and safe entries, and depending on how much you want to risk, but like, but yeah, so regardless of that, solid, take a screenshot, and then save it away, and you just repeat, rinse and repeat. Whatever model you are trading with or setup that you consider a plus, just keep going back in past data charts and just fucking rinse and repeat. Keep doing it over and over again, at least 10 times. You can even do this for, you know, just separate confluences. Like if you want to be more confident in change in state entries, just find change in states. Same thing with fair value gaps, same thing with OTEs, like just backtest. Take several, if not dozens, of screenshots of different entries, different places where market is respecting certain levels based off those confluences. And so if you do this over time, it's going to give you way more confidence, way more conviction when entering in real time, because this is obviously way different than entering real time, but it gives you a really good scope of how much you're willing to risk, how much you should be risking, and where maybe your take profit should be, as well as the timing. It'll help with the timing. I feel like so many people are like lazy and not willing to do the work, but like, bro, you're literally just sitting at a computer looking at past data and just doing homework where it's literally just you screenshotting good setups. Like that's literally it, dude. It's not that hard. But so many people are like, oh, you don't need a back test. Oh, you don't need to do this and that or whatever. You just need a forward test. And it's like, sure, to a certain point, maybe, right? Like once you get to a certain point, you're probably fine without back testing. But like, even then, like it's good to refill yourself, pause, oh my God, like re-inhibit that confidence back in yourself, especially if maybe you're coming back from like taking a break from trading, or even just like, bro, it could just be the weekend. Like maybe you forgot trading, you just want to like back test a bit and kind of jog your memory. Like there's nothing wrong with that, because the market's changing and it's different every day. It's always good to constantly update yourself with the data. And so backtesting, I believe, is extremely important, right? Like you gotta treat it like it's homework. And if you don't take trading seriously, you don't treat it like it's something that you have to progressively learn over time, kind of like college, then dude, you're never gonna be making more money or be more successful than those people that are actually going to college and putting in that type of work, right? Like you gotta be able to sit down, do your homework, and then apply that shit to the real live markets, because that's where you'll make actual money. So always backtest, dude. That shit is peak. Like I don't know what to tell you. Plus it's chill as hell, bro. Just turn on some music, look at the past charts, look for good setups, mark out your confluences, see where the best entries would be, screenshot it, save it away, and then boom, like just do that repeatedly for like every day. But yeah, that's all I got for today. Hope you guys learned something, someone learned something from this and is able to apply the gift of backtesting to their skill set, because I believe it helps a lot. And if you just decide to be lazy and skip out on it, you're low-key just selling yourself short. So remember to backtest, and hopefully, I don't know, maybe you caught something today, maybe you didn't. Price action was kind of butt because of bank holiday. People were saying it was good, low-key, overhyped. Shit looks mid as hell. And then, yeah. Let me know in the comments what you guys want me to make videos on in the future. If you have any questions about trading, let me know in the comments. Yeah. See you guys tomorrow. If I take a trade. If I don't, then I probably won't post anything. Or maybe I'll make another video on something else. I don't know. Let me know in the comments though what I should be making. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.